Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships, and today I am actually taking a look at a replay from Murakamo, who is actually a good friend of mine and clanmate, and he said he had a really good game in the Shiratsuyu. Now it has been a really long time since I played the Shiratsuyu, so you'll have to forgive me if remembering how it felt is definitely clouded by time, but as you can see, it is mostly a tier 7, which is very nice. So that means Murakamo is definitely going to be the top tier here. He's facing off against Mahan, Mas, Agil, and Pavlovsky. Now I do know the Shiratsuyu, as we're seeing a beautiful bug in the World of Warships replay. The Shiratsuyu was actually one of the top 5 favorite destroyers that World of Warships did a poll for. I think Habarash was number 1 or something like that. So I might actually have to eventually come back to the Shiratsuyu. Now, I didn't mind the Shiratsuyu. The Shiratsuyu is fairly stealthy, 5.8 kilometer detect. It has a torpedo reload, which it has to opt out for not having smoke. And its range on its torpedoes is 10 kilometers. Now, the Shiratsuyu does have 2 sets of torpedoes, 4 torpedoes each, so you can get 16 torpedoes into the water at one time. The guns, I mean, they're not bad. They definitely do struggle. They don't turn as quick as, say, the American line does, so there is a definitely a bit of a struggle for the Shiratsuyu. So overall, that is something to keep in mind. Now, this map is standard battle, which, as probably a few of you know, I'm not a big fan of. I don't like standard battle. I definitely think IGN destroyers do definitely better in standard battle because they obviously can't really confront enemy DDs. So generally IGN, except for obviously once you get up to the Akazuki and higher, definitely do really well in playing standard battle or playing domination, getting those caps because their guns are actually very potent. Now Murakamo is actually doing actually a decent tactic. Actually, I may not be the most impressive, but it's a good tactic because, as you did see, there was Atlanta pushing in. He is no longer spotted, and Atlanta does pose a threat to destroyers that are unfortunately within a certain amount of distance and obviously within its radar. So backing up does allow Murakamo the ability to quickly get away. That is something a lot of destroyer captains, especially if you are going in clan or ranked, will be using because it does allow you that quick getaway. So definitely keep in mind of that tactic whenever possible, but it does look, as we did see, that Jill did take 2 torpedoes that we know of and is still alive and kicking. So that Jill is definitely hurting quite a bit at this time. Now, early on, you don't need to be overly aggressive. As you can see there, that Agil is definitely very low on health, but unfortunately does not kill him outright. And as you can see, the arcing on the shells is definitely a major problem, and also the turret traverse is a huge issue because the turrets just take so long to turn. But unfortunately, that Jill is going to get away from Murakamo because it obviously is outside of 11 kilometers. So that is, you know, unfortunate, and that Jill actually managed to escape. Don't know how that Moss was not able to shoot at it, nor any other cruisers. At the moment, the friendly team is lemming training. They're all lemming training to the northeastern side. Now, I understand this, especially for cruisers. Say cruisers, for example. There's a lot of islands here, and the islands are a big help for cruisers, but they're even bigger help for enemy destroyers because especially low tier USN destroyers, which have shorter range torpedoes, being able to get a little bit closer without being detected is extremely beneficial. And at the moment, looks like Murakami is going to try to get torps off on this Julio Cesar. Torps are along the way. Doesn't use his torpedo reload. I think he possibly could have, because just in case that Julio Cesar does decide to speed up, he could have fired some torpedoes in front. But we'll see if he's able to actually get that. Now, we do know the Moss was heading over towards the enemy Julio Cesar, and at the moment, we have just lost the friendly New York. Now, Tier 5s do struggle a little bit more in these bigger maps because there is a lot more area that they actually have to cover, while the US Sin cruisers specifically don't travel very, very fast. But obviously, DDs are very capable of traveling around this area because they are much, much quicker. And unfortunately, I don't think he actually lands a torpedo. For whatever reason, I think there was just enough room between those torpedo spreads that Julio was able to get by with relative ease. Now, unfortunately for the friendly team, but fortunately for Murakami, he does realize that the enemy team is pushing directly into their base. The Gneisenau, the Colorado, and plus a cruiser are all pushing south towards the friendly base. And very few ships are actually reacting to this, which is not exactly what you want to see, but at least the friendly team did take out the enemy Moss, which is extremely beneficial because there were in fact 4 destroyers on the team at the beginning of this map. But here's another good tactic all IGN and even non-IGN destroyers need to learn. Getting close to your target gives them less chance to react to your torpedoes and more likely of a chance for your torpedoes to actually hit whatever you're aiming at. Now, it's Colorado. Colorados are not known for their speed. More than likely, he will sail in a straight line if he's trying to get somewhere. So it's quite possible that he is going to, in fact, take those torpedoes. Now, Murakami is getting dangerously close, not too terribly close, not too terribly dangerously close. Don't really know where I was going with that. But he does have to be careful just in case that Colorado does make a different change. Does get decent hits on the enemy Colorado. Does cause a couple flooding, but unfortunately it does look like he is repairing. Now, good thing at the moment is the fact that he was able to react to this, and this is something you definitely have to work on in World of Warships, is reading the map. Map awareness is key. It is key to victory, it's key to ensuring that you are able to react to the enemy force and basically prevent them from possibly winning the game. And I play low tiers every now and then. Low tiers is generally just for fun, not really too terribly focused on winning, but you can definitely see, especially in lower tiers, that there is no map awareness. There's no reaction or preemptively deciding to do something. There's nothing there. So something you definitely need to learn early on is being able to react to what the enemy team and predict what they're doing. And sometimes you can over predict and they still do the stupid stuff that you weren't really hoping for. He does get 2 torpedoes on that Gneisenau. Unfortunately, that Gneisenau was bow in, so that did obviously limit the amount of torpedoes available to actually land, but at least he was able to cause a couple flooding. So if, say, a cruiser was able to get a fire on him, that fire would stick for some time. It looks like the friendly force is actually starting to react. We have at least 6 ships down here to actually do something about this. But the major downside of running the Shiratsuyu with the torpedo reload is it's not really able to use its guns too terribly much. Now, granted, the Shiratsuyu's guns are not the worst, but they're not particularly great. The Shiratsuyu is definitely in between the Akazuki and the Fubuki. You get that good torpedo ability but you don't have any way to actually use your guns very, very well. They reload very slowly. I don't know if he has BFT. He might have BFT, so you could increase the rate of fire. But another aspect of using the torpedo reload booster is the fact that you can't use the smoke. So you can't slow down pop smoke and possibly get fires on enemy targets. Now, I don't know if I overly agree with what the enemy team was doing here, especially with the Gneisenau and the Colorado pushing down. And there is Murakumo's first kill, pushing directly into the base. Granted, it is about halfway over with the battle at the moment. It's still very early, especially the Colorado, which takes such a long time there just to be able to show up, maybe fire a few salvos, do a little bit of damage, but then eventually die. Had the enemy team actually focused the friendly team, they probably could have won this, because the enemy team were in a slightly better position. They were actually doing fairly decent amount of damage. And props to the Hood, who actually reacted and came back, which is extremely beneficial. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Murakumo's able to get any torpedoes on that Gneisenau. So that definitely was not the greatest, but he might instead get a surprise target. The enemy Bajoni, who came out at the wrong time. There we go. His second kill of the game earned high caliber and devastating strike. Now Murakumo has obviously been detected. He's being detected from his detect range by the enemy Gneisenau. And he is opting to not open up. Now this is, everyone's a little bit different. I probably would have opened up and tried to help out the friendly Hood, who is currently dealing with the Gneisenau at very, very close range. And I'm curious if the Gneisenau actually dropped torpedoes. I don't really see that. Does look like Murakumo did drop torpedoes towards the enemy Iron Duke. Now it does look like he opened up. But this Gneisenau should go down. This fire looks fairly permanent, so that fire should tick down. Torpedoes are on its way to the enemy Iron Duke. So hopefully they should be able to at least knock out this Gneisenau, prevent him from further capturing the base, and possibly allow the friendly team a little bit of breathing room, because they are down a ship. And now the enemy Povolsky's around. One thing I have actually noticed is I don't think Murakumo is running priority target. I like priority target. I think it's beneficial. And there he goes, gets the third kill. Does kind of steal it away from the friendly Moss, but that's alright. That's kill secure. But unfortunately for Murakumo's team, there is still Atlanta alive, and Atlanta once again are fairly dangerous to friendly destroyers. And I just now realized where one of the friendly destroyers were. Can you guys spot it? I'll even increase the map. Can you spot where the friendly destroyer, because there's two down south and a battleship. Where is the friendly destroyer? He is in fact all the way up north, right there. I'm actually kind of curious which destroyer that is. It does look to be like the Nicholas. Oh my word. Now, the good thing about the Nicholas, what he could definitely try to do is try to cap, but there is obviously still the fact that there is a Atlanta around. I don't know if he's trying to go for torpedo hits on that Britannia. If he is, that's kind of low tier and should be definitely, you know, not main focus of the Nicholas at this time, because their torpedoes are very short range. And not overly beneficial, but there is the enemy Povolsky that did show up. Now, unfortunately, this is the issue with the Shiratsuyu. It cannot really push against enemy destroyers. Its guns are definitely very, very limited to the rear. So Murakumo does opt for the torpedoes, hoping to at least kill this Povolsky. The Povolsky is a very fast destroyer, very, very fast for its tier. But fortunately, we do actually have a battleship right behind Murakamo. Torpedoes might be good, at least a second set we're hoping for. And there are those torpedoes from the Pavoski, but obviously they are very short range and did die before even hitting the friendly battleship. Now, unfortunately, that Pavoski is going to get away from those torpedoes. He might die to the friendly battleship. Let's hope so. This map's fairly close. Now, the Atlanta definitely is going to have issues dealing with the friendly battleship. But the friendly battleship's also very, very low in health. Once again, the Atlanta is probably the most dangerous target here, and the Picanha is still alive. Let's see. Does look like Murakamo does open up, is focusing the Pavoski. If they can get rid of the Pavoski, that's definitely one less threat for the friendly team. And there we go. Kill number 4 for Murakamo. Fortunately, that Atlanta is just running away and not really posing too much threat, because once again, the Atlanta does struggle at longer ranges to gain their shells to actually land on target. So, real major thing I wanted to really talk about, besides obviously this is supposed to be a really good game, especially with that surprise hit from that Bajoni, I completely forgot about that, is the fact that the IGN split branch destroyer line is coming out shortly, here in the near future, and the whole fact that they actually recently got a buff, which was kind of needed, especially the Harugumo was, from what I was hearing, struggling at tier 10 because of its caliber size guns. So that is a blessing and a curse. Blessing because obviously it makes it much more formidable at tier 10. However, even the Akizuki got that buff, and Akizuki I felt was fairly powerful as is. So Shiratsuyu is definitely the in-between, and I really probably should try her out again just to see how it is, because it's been a long time since I've actually played it. And there we go, Kraken Unleash for Murakamo and Confederate. All that's left on the enemy team is the Atlanta, and there is about 2 minutes left on this match. So at the moment, things are looking pretty good. Pretty good for Murakamo. He's done a fantastic job in this battle. And before the match end, I would like to say that if you are interested in sending in a replay, say you had a fantastic game in a ship of your choice and you would like to see it on this channel, do go ahead, send it either to my email, hakaymgaming@gmail.com, or you can post it to my Discord, and the Discord invite is down below. I'm going to redo it just in case. I do know that some people have had issues the invite resetting, so I will update that down below. Just post it on this Discord with pictures and definition or description on what occurred in that battle. So not a bad battle for Murakamo. 144,503 points of damage, 5 kills, Kraken Unleash, Confederate First Blood, or better yet, Devastating Strike. That is Devastating Strike there, and High Caliber. So not a bad battle for Murakamo in the Shiratsuyu. Definitely probably need to try to take a look at the ship again and try running the torpedo reload module. I think I might have some fun, because I do like my IGN ships. They are fun to play if played correctly. But anyways, this is going to be it for this video. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching my channel. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you are, subscribers to my channel, always hit that like button. It helps me out, helps my videos with the YouTube algorithms, kind of spread it around. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So you guys have a great and fantastic day. Saijin.